Hello, everybody. This is Dane G with the Standing Back Up podcast. Today, I'm here with my special guest, Mr. Jackie W. We're going to be talking about life, addiction, how it began, where we're at in life today. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good.
You're looking good. I know that. Look like you've been up there hitting them weights a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
eating them donuts one.
a little bit of both. A little bit
Uh,
of ice cream all the time.
hey, man, that's my thing here. I'm all over at ice cream. Cookies and cream, man. You can go to Sam's and get a big old bucket of it for like $7, man. It's like, I don't know how much it is, 2 gallons or something. But anyway, um, all right, man. Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in a little neighborhood called Woodbine. It's in South Nashville, Tennessee.
Um, how old was you when you started doing dope?
Well, I started smoking weed. The first time I smoked weed, I was in the fourth grade.
Yeah. So you was what, 9, 10,
Yeah,
9?
9, 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I,
Was
my dad, I stole some weed from my dad.
so your dad has had come into your life. So when I was a kid, it was a norm. I saw everybody doing it. It was just like I thought it was the normal thing to do. I found a pack of cigarettes, but it was all joints. Somebody had rolled it up, and uh, I found it, and then I knew what it was. I wouldn't give it back. People were looking for it. These older people and stuff, and I was like, "No, I'm keeping that shit." But I was probably about 8 or 9. Did your parents do any hard drugs?
Um, they just smoked weed on up until I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah. And then what? How
Then
did how did drugs?
then they started doing hard drugs. Well,
Did
my see,
you?
my mom was married. She got married when she was 14 to some other dude. It was my dad's best friend, and she was doing heroin whenever she was with him. But
Okay.
she started doing heroin when she was 14 years old. And then when she got with my dad, he got her off of it, a little bit, but he got her straight for a little while.
Right. And so I guess eventually it came back in her life.
Well, they started. My grandma got cancer, and she got prescribed a lot of, and she didn't like to take them, so she got my mom and dad to sell them. And so my mama started doing the Dilaudid first, and then my dad started doing them just to keep her around.
Okay. Yeah. That was also my first demon, really, with pills, and then Dilaudid came along. I was just talking about them the other day. A long time ago, I was in a drug court program, and I was having a meeting with this dude, and he was asking me my story, and I told him about K4 Dilaudid, and I watched his whole body language change, and I knew, I was like, damn, that struck a nerve with him. You know what I mean? And he told me about a month after that, he said, man, I almost relapsed that day. He said, you mentioned in Dilaudid, and he said, I felt that rush run through my body. And I was like, damn. So, so smoking weed and all that. So where did you take the turn to harder drugs at? How'd that begin?
Um, I just sold drugs for a long time. I didn't do nothing but just smoke weed, and
Right.
I drank beer. Um, I started taking lower tabs here and there around 1998. I was probably 20 years old. But I was, I didn't. It wasn't a problem back then.
Yeah. Um, that's the thing. It wasn't a problem back then. How did it become a problem? What happened?
Um, it became a problem later on. The first time I did heroin.
Okay. How old were you then?
The first time I did heroin was in 2000, probably 13. So that was 11 years ago. So I would have been 33 years old.
Had you been to prison? I know you went to prison. Had you been to prison already before you done heroin?
Yeah.
Is that what led you into prison? I'm sure it's selling drugs. I know that too, but
Just no, no. I was just selling drugs, man. Selling drugs, making a living. I was whatever you want to call a successful drug dealer there for a while.
right. Addicted to money.
Yeah, that was my first love was money. Well, my first love was basketball, and then
Right.
because when my parents, I'd come home from school, I couldn't get in the house and stuff, so I just pick up my basketball and dribble around the neighborhood, go to court, and sometimes they wouldn't come home 2 or 3 days. I'd just be at the basketball court 2 or 3 days.
Damn, outside? No, couldn't get in the house?
Couldn't get in the house.
Man,
Then
how old was you then?
I was in the fourth grade.
Wow. Man, that's crazy, man. Uh, Fourth grade, couldn't get in the house for days. I know a similar story. I know somebody has a very similar story to that. Mama was alcoholic and same thing.
See,
So when it,
and we was living in a poor neighborhood. We was living on the outskirts of the projects. Like the projects are right here, and our house is right beside it. So I was the only white person in the neighborhood. Um, we was the only white people in the neighborhood. So I was dealing with people trying to beat me up all the time. They did beat me up at first until I learned how to fight.
that's right. Yeah. I lived in a trailer park right outside the projects, but Franklin projects wasn't like Nashville, not where you was at. They wasn't like that at all. There's just as many white people over in that part of them as it was black people, really. Um, a couple friend of mine, I just mentioned him to you a while ago. I can say his name now, but he grew up in the projects too. When you started doing heroin, man, how long did it take it to really just take over your life and become a problem?
Immediately.
Immediately. Was you addicted immediately?
Yep.
Me too, buddy.
Because I was born with it in my system whenever I was born.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. So, and I always said I was never going to do it because I knew if I did it, it was going to take me over. But as soon as I did it, I loved it.
Yeah. So many stories, tell the same thing, man. I wonder about myself, to be honest about it, because later on in life, my mom told me she did do heroin in the 70s, and I was born in 75. So um, I wondered, she never said that, but um, I know I was like a sickly baby, ear problems and stuff like that. So I really don't know. Could have been, but who knows?
Yeah, when
Um,
I was born, I had to stay in the hospital like 9 months, having blood transfusions and all that stuff. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
And so you got a sister, or excuse me, you had a sister, right?
yeah. I had a little, and see, that was another thing. They leave me at the house alone with her. I'd have to babysit her while they'd be out running the streets or whatever they were doing. And I learned how to take care of her whenever I was 11 years old. She was 9 months old, and
Mm,
yeah, it was just me and her, and I had my boom box, and I turned on my radio, and she stopped crying, and I throw in a bottle in her mouth, and yeah, that's when I learned how to cook and stuff too. Because I had to cook for myself. They went home. I learned to get in there and cook me some macaroni and cheese or whatever I had to eat in there.
man, that's crazy, isn't it? We see kids today don't have a clue, man, of what life could really be like. We got one. He thinks his life is just so bad. Hell, he's got $10,000 worth of video equipment video game equipment in his bedroom. You know what I mean? Life's just so bad. He ain't never wanted for nothing, and don't have a clue of what it's like to go to bed hungry or having to fend for yourself at a young age. I do the same thing, man. Same shit you're talking about.
Yeah,
Different kind of.
my parents was awesome until they got on them pills, man.
Yeah, we know the story. Our
Yeah.
character ain't worth a damn when we're on that dope, but when we get off of it, we're some of the greatest people it is, man. You know that as well. Um, how much time do you do, or have you done in your life? Let me ask you that.
Um, I don't know, probably around 7 years and 7, 8, something like that, somewhere around there.
How old are you, Jackie?
I'm 45.
45. All right.
Mm.
So,
I mean, when you look, you can go to Howard Gentry, the court clerk. You can look on there, and when you put my name in there, it says I've been arrested 43 times.
yeah, Lee. Um, I don't know how many I've been arrested, man. I ain't Nashville. Like I got arrested in Nashville, but just on some petty stuff most of the time. Mine was all out of Williamson County. I don't know. I got some felonies in Nashville too. A bunch of forgeries one time, but got with this old dude and was making these checks.
Yeah.
Uh, so, how many times you been to prison? Once?
Well, that's the thing. Whenever I got in trouble with my dope charge,
Yeah.
uh, I had a little money.
Right.
So whenever I got in trouble, I got 6 months day for day, and I got 11 years paper.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So, all right, and then I violated. I've never been to prison, Dane.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you had. Mm.
No, I've never been to
Okay.
prison.
Okay.
I've
All
been,
right.
I've done a lot of county time.
Time's
All my
time.
time has been in the county.
County time's harder than state time. Anyway, at the end of the day.
When I did 7 months, 21 days because I had to do 41 days because me and my ex-wife got into it and she got me charged with aggravated assault. So they gave me another year on top of my 10. So I had 11 years. So I did 7 months, 21 days. I got out on that. I stayed out 13 months. They put me on community corrections. Whenever I violated community corrections, they locked me up and they was talking about sending me to the penitentiary. I stayed at Blackwood for 9 months. All right. And then my lawyers finally talked them into letting me go to drug court.
Mm.
I went out to Judge Norman's drug court and I stayed out there 13 months and I graduated that. Then I had to go to halfway house for 9 months. And after that, I did good for a while. And right whenever I had 6 months left on my 11 years paper, and me and my girlfriend got into it, and she had me arrested for domestic assault. So I thought I was just had to go to penitentiary with 6 months left on my 11-year sentence. But my probation officer said that uh, just do your time, and I'm gonna squash the rest of your paper.
Good deal.
So I've been lucky, man. Uh, and I've been arrested, for like I caught that. Whenever you look at my record, that one day I got charged with 12 felonies on my dope case
Yeah.
because they had 9 months surveillance on me, and I had 6 sales to an informant, which was my brother-in-law. He brought the police to me 6 different times, and so I had, and each one of them was an ounce or better. So I had 6 ounce sales to the police, and
Wow.
each one of them carries 8 to 12. So they was offering my first three offers was 40 years,
Damn.
and then I had a little money, so my lawyer got it down to, and then my fourth offer was 10 years to serve, and then finally I went in there on the fifth time, and they gave me 10 years of community corrections, 6 months a day for day.
Well, you did good. You did real good. It's nice
Yeah,
when you got money to do them kind of things, ain't
yeah, that was
it?
I mean, whenever I was selling drugs, I saved every dollar I'd had, man. I'm one of them people that went out and I didn't let nobody know what I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody knew I had no money.
Yeah.
I just,
Uh,
I had a little bit of money, not much.
when did you get into writing music lyrics?
shit, whenever I was 10 years old.
That was your way to, what was it? It was your way to cope, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I immediately fell in love with rap when it came out. I was, I'm when I was around. I was a little boy whenever rap first started. So I mean, I know all about it, and I just could relate to what they was talking about because I was going through the same shit.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's what people don't understand. What music is. It's therapeutic, man. Um, and it is. There's a treatment center called Recovery Unplugged, and that's what they do, man. They're all about music, and uh, when we're going through detox, this, that, and the other, that music helps, man. And then when you got stuff on you, man, it's a good way to channel it out, and get it off of you.
Oh, if it weren't for music, I'd be crazy, man. I mean, I could listen to it. I could be depressed or thinking about some bullshit, and I put on a song that I like, and it goes away.
Yep. Put them headphones in or put on some music. You're right, man. So many people don't understand how therapeutic it can be. Um, and it is. And especially when you got a gift of writing. I've heard your music, and that's the whole idea. Tell us real quick, where can people find your music at that you got online and stuff?
I got a YouTube channel. I got two YouTube channels. One of them, it's got some music on there, but it's not good quality. But
Yeah.
I got my other channel. The music on there is good quality. I got like six songs on that channel. It's pretty good stuff, man. I got a bunch of stuff done. I just can't put it out. I just ain't put it out.
How do they find your channel? What's it called? Just Jackie Warwick or what?
All you gotta do is go to the search on YouTube and just type in my name, Jackie Warwick.
We were talking about your sister a while ago. I'm sure you and her were very close. I'm sure.
Um, she's exactly 9 years younger than me, and
Okay.
I always took care of her, man. And she we both, my granny both got us, got both of us. I was in the fourth grade, fourth or fifth grade. The fourth grade when my granny got us. Um, and she was only about 9 months old, 10 months old, something like that. And I was grown. I was pretty, I was a big boy. She was a little baby. But when we got, I was just a big brother, man. I just took care of her, and uh, I didn't want nothing to do with my mama, but my little sister wanted to be around my mama, man.
Yeah.
And my mama wound up teaching her some wrong things. She used to get high with my mama. My mama had her, prostituting and all that other stuff. At it, like when she's like 14 years old, she was already prostituting and all that other stuff.
And she ended up getting sober, but passed away, right? But she was sober.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, she had 3 years clean, and just one night, she went to sleep and didn't wake up. She just, they said it was upper respiratory failure. They did an
That's
autopsy
wild.
on her. Autopsy came back upper respiratory failure. No drugs in her system or nothing.
That's weird, isn't it, man? Just like she just stopped breathing or something.
Yep, she's only 30 years old.
Was she sick?
No,
That's wild, man.
she,
Upper
she got
respiratory failure.
clean. She got clean. She gained a little weight, but she wasn't
Yeah.
obese. I
Right.
mean, she like 5'6", 200 pounds.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah. That's just
Yeah,
thick. That's
yeah.
wild, man. I hear them stories all the time, and it's like, man, we live through all the shit we live through in addiction, and then something like that happened, But hey, it's time. But good thing is she got sober. That man, I've heard some stories about kids and parents. That's sad, your own mama.
My
No,
mom was the first person I ever sold any dope to. She was my first customer.
that's crazy, isn't it? That's
Yep.
wild. I remember you telling me something about there at the end. you couldn't even go to your dad's unless you had something to give him or something.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, if I wanted to go over and chill, I had to have some dope before he let me in.
That's crazy. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I don't talk to him. Every time I talk to him, it just depresses me talking to him.
I could imagine. What about your mama?
She passed away in 2013.
Overdose?
Yeah, she got clean, man. She got clean, and she found out she had cancer.
Mm,
I went over and stayed all night with her one night, and she kept on saying she called me Jack Edward. My middle name is Edward, so that's what she called me. She called me Jack Edward, and she just kept on saying Jack Edward, you better come to my funeral. So that right there telling me she told me she had lung cancer. She's coughing up blood and stuff. But she was clean.
yeah.
And my sister told me that she she got her one of them 100 milligram morphine pills and shot it and died.
And took her out. Yeah. I
She
remember the
wanted
morphine.
to die.
Morphine. That was what was in prison back in the day.
Yeah, she was. Whenever she had a couple years clean, so I mean her tolerance was down, so she knew it was gonna kill her.
Yeah, she's already weak too. I mean, from cancer and all that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
she's coughing up blood and stuff, and yeah.
All right, let's talk about some good stuff, man. Let's talk about sobriety. Let's talk about being sober.
Yeah.
No matter what we got going on in life, it's so much better when we're sober. Um, how do you, for an addict that's out there struggling, what's your advice to them?
My advice to them is to addicts out there struggling is to tell them that they need to find something else to fill that void that the drugs is filling. They need to feel something. They need to find something else. First of all, they need to go to rehab
Mhm.
and get to the root of the reason why they do drugs.
There you go.
For
And
me, for me, it is. I've got to the root of mine. Mine's my childhood, and I talk about it all the time. I try to talk about it as much as I can because that's the reason why. When your parents just drop you off and leave you out there for nothing, that still fucks with you. I'm 45 years old and it still fucks with me. And when your
yeah,
parents say when your parents say, Jack, I don't want you here, go to your grandma's house. That's your mom and daddy. That fucks you up on trust. That fucks you up on love. It messes you up on everything. It just messes you up completely when your parents don't want you.
yeah, yeah. I could. Yeah, it's just like an adopted kid. Whenever some kids do well with it and some don't, especially the ones who don't have it so good, in adoption. Um,
It messes your self esteem up. It just makes you feel like you're nothing.
yeah, I could imagine, man. My mama was always there. That's one thing. Mama never abandoned me or nothing like that. Me or my brother. Life was hard. When I was born, she already had one son at 6 years older, single parent. You know what I mean? And life was hard, but my mama, man, she didn't have an education, and then she got it. She went back and got it, man. Went back and got a GED and did a little night school and college deal, and life got better. Um, but I was off to the races, man. I was 15. I was a pill addict, and a lot of people didn't know it. And by 17, I was strung out completely. But um, mine still stems from a lot of stuff too. Childhood, different things. Also, not nothing like that. Now there was times that my mom was gone and stuff too. Now when I was real young, she was drinking and stuff like that, and she'd be gone for days. I remember me and my brother uh, not being able to get in the house and stuff like that, having to sleep outside too. Not for no days like you did, because we'd go to my granny's or whatever. But um, my story is it's pretty similar in a lot of ways to yours, especially later on. Pills and all that took over me and my mama both, and then methadone, this, that, and the other. But what I'm finding, man, out here in the world is that there's a lot of people who are homeless, this, that, and other, and think there's no hope for them. And my advice to them is there is. Make a phone call. There are state places that you can go to. Um, they
Yeah,
might feel
I got a couple people I grew up with, man, and they're down there in the neighborhood homeless right now. And I gave them my number and told them I can get them in somewhere and everything, but they don't call. I mean, they're just content with being out there.
they are, man. And I see them every day, everywhere I go, and my old lady will be that part of her wants to help everybody, but she also understands. You know what I mean? Uh, if they want help, they can get it. You can make a phone call, man. You might not be able to get right in, but I'll go on and say it. Buffalo Valley. Buffalo Valley don't have a great reputation, but at the end of the day, I know people that Buffalo Valley's working for, and it is a place for you to go. And it gives you time to get on your feet and get you a little job and get off the streets, man. So giving it a bad name is really not fair because at the end of the day, it's all about us, man. Um,
Buffalo Valley's an awesome place, man.
it
I
is, and
mean,
it's
everything they do is, I mean, you can't do nothing but come up if you do everything right.
that's it if you do everything right, and it gets a bad reputation, but that's anywhere. It don't matter if you got a place that your insurance pays $30,000 for. We as addicts, we're going to find a reason to complain about it. But if you go from being homeless and basically sleeping in cardboard or don't even have cardboard to a place where you got a warm bed and you got some food when you get there, and then all the tools necessary, man, Suboxone or whatever it is, to get sober, it's there for you. And Samaritan is another place you can get in there too. And man, you know where Samaritan is?
Yeah,
And man, you ought to see it now. I don't know if you
it's right
saw
there
it now.
it's right there by East Nash. It's over by the projects over in East Nash.
Man, they done built up a whole big tower there now. It's like you'll trip out when you see it now. They've I guess they got a bunch of grants or whatever, but them two places, man, get a bad reputation because at the end of the day, the people that give it the bad reputations, as we know, are the people that fucked up, relapsed in it, and they'd had enough, kicked them out, and then they go and talking about it. But the recovery's there is what I'm getting at for people.
Yeah, it's all
Um,
on the person.
yeah, it's all on them, man. And a lot of people, I know there's circumstances where people end up homeless, man, and stuff like that, and or are not mentally capable and things like that. But there's a way out, Jackie, and you know it as well as I do. There is a way out, man,
Oh yeah.
and and that's all they got to do is do it. Um, what's your plan for the future, man?
I'm just taking it one day at a time, man. I'm trying to forget about the past and not to worry about tomorrow. I'm just focusing on today and trying to do the right thing. I believe as long as I stay clean and do the right thing, I ain't gonna do nothing but win.
That's it, winning. That's what the plan for the future is. Tell Buffalo Valley they owe me some money. I give them all kind of plugs. I'm just playing. Yeah. uh, how's everything going, man? Your personal life, you good? I know you was talking to your cousin or somebody. How's she doing?
Oh yeah, I'm one of them people that I don't talk too much but I text my family every day, and my cousin, she's down in Panama City right now. They're on vacation. I talked to her
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah.
man. I want us all to succeed. Um, we know the odds of that happening are slim to none, but I love to see it when we do. And I met some people during my time in treatment, and uh, the ones I talked to still doing good, man. I like to hear that, because they say the odds ain't in our favor, but most of them are still doing good, and that's what we want, man. And God, we ain't mentioned God. You know, without Him, I wouldn't be sitting here, and I shouldn't be sitting where I am, because as we all do, man, I lived a bad life. A lot of time and the things addicts do, and I shouldn't be blessed the way I am. And doing this podcast thing, and man, this thing's growing more than ever really could have imagined, and it gets better every day. Just stay on the right track, man, and keep trying to uplift them guys coming in, man. Letting them know they can do it. Be at the shot, be that light on that hill, and show them they can, man.
Yeah.
Get
Got
some more music.
all new people here now. It's turning over, so it's all new people.
Yeah, that's kind of a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, you got to weed out the bad. You already know what comes with all that when they come in and get slung into that precept. We know all about that too. All right, my friend. Tell us again where we can find your music at on YouTube, man.
Yeah, just type in my name. Go to the search thing on there and just type in Jackie Warrick, Warrick.
Y'all listen to it, man. Subscribe to his channel.
I got a good song on there. A lot of people like the Jeepers Creepers song, and then I got one called Swerving and Serving. That's a good one. I mean, you just type in my name and type in the name of the song, like uh, Jeepers Creepers. That's a real catchy, good song.
All right. You on TikTok?
No, I don't get on TikTok. I get on Facebook. I got all my songs on my reels on Facebook,
Yeah.
and that Swerving Serving, it's got 1.5 thousand views on that song, and then I got a couple other ones that's got 1.2 and 1.3, some stuff like that. So people's listening to it.
The thing about TikTok is that you can build a following on there pretty quick. That's what I found, but I guess they talking about banning it or whatever about that. Still think they got a year or whatever. But it's just an idea. All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I got 9.3 followers on Facebook. 9.3 thousand followers on Facebook.
Damn, you need to send them my way, man. I ain't got nothing like that. I don't really like. I go on Facebook and stuff here or there, but I really don't. I mean, I'll put a reel on there, just little stuff talking about different stuff, but maybe I should spend a little bit more time on Facebook than what I do. But like, this is live on Facebook right now. This is on there. But all right, my friend. Good to see you, man. Good to see you looking healthier and healthier.
All right.
Keep uplifting them dudes coming in, man. Show them there's a better way. You need anything, you got my number.
All right. I appreciate you, man.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you again, man. See you.
Okay.
Everybody, it's Dane G with Standing Back Up podcast. That was Jackie Warrick. Y'all go on YouTube and different places, man, and show him some love. Independent guy there. It's hard for a person like that to try to make it in today's world if you ain't got a lot of money. Jackie's a good guy. If you heard his story, you heard everything he came from, man, and he's been at the bottom and wasn't dealt a very good hand, but he's doing his best. He's been sober for a good while now and doing the thing, man. So y'all show him some love and subscribe to his channels and download his stuff. God bless y'all. Keep moving forward.